Hey, how are you today? Hope you're having a great day. Lots and lots of good information for you today. A lot of meaty stuff. One, what's going on in the Dallas-Fort Worth real estate market as we close out August? Really going to dive in on two major topics. Real life situations that came across my desk today or this week. One is for buyers, what's a clue report? Where do you get it and why do you want it? And two, for buyers and sellers, if you're exchanging real property outside of a real estate agent and a real estate attorney, you had better follow the right steps or this can happen to you. Before we dig into those pieces of information and stories, I'm David Russell with the Russell team. Thank you for watching this short video. If there's anything I can do to help you with buying, selling, and owning real estate, please call, text, or email me. I am here to help. So let's dig into the questions and the situations that we've been working on this week. Number one, buyers. What's a clue report? A clue report is just a historical report of any claims that were filed on a property in the last 5 to 7 years. Real simple. Where do you get it? You get it from most insurance brokers. I say most because I have run across insurance brokers and insurance agents that won't give clue reports. So I have a list of a handful in my Rolodex, if you will, or my phone book, my phone. If you have any questions, you want a clue report, call me. I'll get you a phone number. These folks are happy to give you a clue report. Why do you need it? The clue report will tell you, were there any claims on this house in the last 5 or 7 years, and were the claims paid? If they were paid, you're able to go back to the seller and say, hey, we see that we were paid out $20,000 last year. What was that for? And I want to see the receipts that the work was completed. It has happened where sellers have taken money from insurance companies on claims and not fully completed the repairs. I actually had that real life situation happen a number of years ago on a transaction I was facilitating for a buyer. I always send out in a letter right upon execution the first day that you need to get a clue report and you need to get it ASAP. In this particular case, the buyer didn't get it until just before closing, about 3 or 4 days before closing. What we learned and what was discovered in that clue report was the seller had filed a hail claim in the recent past and had recently, within 30 days, received a $40,000 check for a roof, gutters, and a bunch of other items that were damaged on the property. Now, that was not on the seller's disclosure. It was not disclosed to us at any point in time during this transaction, and we're about 3-4 days before closing. And we learn about it through the clue report. When I went back to the listing agent, she didn't know about it. She called the seller. The seller mysteriously remembered that he had a $40,000 check sitting in his glove box or on his desk at the office, wherever it was. But he had not disclosed to us that he had the money. He had not disclosed that he had filed the claim. All of which should have been on the clue or on the seller's disclosure. So fortunately, we were able to find that out. He was able to get the money to the buyer and all ended well. However, had we not learned about that money and the claim, and that buyer a year down the road files a claim for hail damage because a storm comes through and a roofer says, yeah, you have massive hail damage, that insurance company would have likely denied the claim. They would have come out and said, this is not a new roof. This roof is not 1 year old. Where's the 1 year old roof? And then we would have been in a legal situation. It would have been a lawsuit, and it could have gotten really bad really fast. So always, buyers, get a clue report. Get it quick. It's free. Get it the first couple of days after you're under contract. Now, moving to the next subject, this is for buyers and sellers. If you are buying or selling real property and you are not using a real estate attorney or a title company, you're making a huge mistake. I always recommend use realtors, but there are people that will buy and sell amongst friends, family members, etc., and they won't use realtors. Please use a real estate attorney. Please use a title company. Real situation where a party did not do that. He bought it from this gentleman bought a home from a family member. It was in an estate, and they thought all the documentation was in place amongst the heirs to sell the property. Unfortunately, it wasn't done correctly. And now this person has paid for a house that they can't do anything with because they have to go back in and recreate proper documentation before a title company will issue title insurance. So now we're in a huge quagmire. This poor person has a big mess on their hands. Money is out and gone, and they're trying to clean up a mess. All of that could have been avoided had a real estate attorney or a title company been involved, because the steps would have been followed. In this case, apparently an attorney was involved, but not the right kind, and the proper steps weren't followed to get title insurance. Now, I guess as an attorney, it's legal the way they did it in their minds, but you just can't get title insurance, which means there's a lawsuit potentially down the road if one of those heirs come back in and said, no, I didn't want to sell the property. So please use a real estate attorney, use a title company if you're not using realtors. If you have any questions about those items, call, text, or email me. I'm happy to dig in deeper with you. What's happening in the real estate market as we round out August and head into September? Still a seller's market. However, in the last 2 weeks, I have seen a significant increase in inventory while sales remain the same. So we have a higher inventory, same sales. So that means we're going to start seeing time on market increase. So if y'all are thinking about selling a house, you have to pay very close attention to what time on market is in your neighborhood, because it's going to be going up. How many homes have come on in the last week to 2 weeks? That's going to shift things significantly in some areas. So please pay very close attention to that when you're pricing your house for sale throughout the next couple of months. Very important. Also, there's an article down below. Builders' sentiment on what the housing market is still quite strong. There's an article down below about that. One shift that they did say they're making, and a trend that they see shifting, is buyers want smaller, more affordable homes. So what you see happening is fewer developments building $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 homes, and a lot more developments building under $400,000 and trying to squeeze in the low threes and under $300,000 in the outlying areas. So still good sentiment from builders. They're a really key indicator for what the housing market's doing. When they're doing well, the rest of the industry typically is doing well also. So if you have any questions about what's going on in the market, which right now it's good, please call, text, or email me. If I can help you with buying, selling, and owning real estate, please give me a call. I'm here to help. Have a great day.